Welcome in this new episode of Smart Market Cycles, the last day of July, and we'll study market with this method, statistical method, not discretionary and mathematical, to study the market cycles. It's also valuable on crypto, on gold, on stocks, etc. My last analysis, I spoke about the Bitcoin prices. In the short term, we go down. So, and the market follow this type of cycle. So you can see that the cycle is moving in this direction. But also I say in the last analysis, so we have a vinculation of the inversal cycle to go to update the index, the price, to update the price of crypto. And the problem why we are in this time we are not updating this price, because the start of new cycle, a quarterly cycle, the rules of smart market cycle tell us that for start a quarterly cycle we need at least a bi-weekly bar below this maximum price. So bi-weekly is 12 bar, and now we take the roller, and now we have the time to start this type of cycle. And also we are searching a closing of this quarterly cycle, so we have inversed as Robert, and also we are searching the close of a semi-annual cycle of this cycle. So we have the first quarterly, the second quarterly cycle, and together they form a semi-annual, quindi T+4 cycle. We can expect this type of movement for close this type of cycles. After this type of movement, we can expect greenbacks to update the maximum price of Bitcoin. So we can expect we have, as I stated in the last analysis, I don't say that we haven't sufficient data, volume data, to predict the price. We can use the Fibonacci retracement, but also we can expect this area. This is very important, but we can expect in this area and also in this area for this moment with the data we have now. So the main problem is that we are in summer, so we have a very tiny volume, so you can see that the candle is not very tall. If you see last month, for example, in the winter, we have a very huge candle, so we can see withdrawal in a few days. We have 26% of the update, and now we don't have, you can see a very teeny volume, so only 1%. And the main problem is that we are congested in this level because we have this maximum price, we have this low price, and all candles are congested in this area. So you can see this is the area, so it is the type of pattern because we haven't volume to update the price. So this is the movement, the macro movement that we can expect in the cycle. So now I have updated in the New York Times, so we can start the analysis of the inner frame cycle. So this is the 6 o'clock of New York time, and we can expect this day. So the cycle, more probably the day cycle, is started in this area. Also, I don't have any type of rack, but also we are searching the closing of this day cycle. I will update next time. So we can also see there. This is the intersection with 5 minutes with updated cycle, and we can see that we are closing this T-5 and we are starting. So we are in this type of movement for today, intersession and intraday movement, no problem. So we can see today we have a very low thing to say. From the last update, we are continuing with this type of cycle. We have searching the closing of the weekly cycle, and most probably we are the minimum time of 24 bar to search the closing, but most probably in the 9 o'clock this is the best area which can assist the rebound of prices, so we can expect a closing cycle like this and this for search. So in the first part of the day probably we can see lower prices and in the Asian section or in the light day we can assist a rebound of prices for close this type of cycle, and probably we are searching the closing of a weekly cycle, so we can expect today or tomorrow or maybe in the last week update prices for going down to search the close of the macro cycle. So this is the analysis. You study back analysis to understand best this, and if you love this type of analysis and if it is useful to you to gain more money, and if you want to discover more about the market cycle, like this video and follow my channel. Don't for take new analysis next video. Bye bye.